Hello, I'm Professor Waren Barr, Professor of Law at the Liverpool Law School, and by the time this video goes live, I'll have been at the Liverpool Law School for 20 years. And I'm an ex-director of the Charity Law and Policy Unit, and I want to talk about how I got involved in charity law research, because I have an admission to make, and it's a sad admission within the legal community. I am, by nature, a property lawyer. So a lot of my publications over the years have been in black letter subjects such as equity and trusts, and particularly land law. So I was a relatively late comer as a member of staff at the Liverpool Law School to charity law research, and unsurprisingly, as you'll see from my publications on the website, it was the property side of how charities use their property that got me interested and hooked into the wider corpus of charity law. I suppose one of my most read publications, and therefore the most impactful that I've done, is the Pearson-Stevens, as it's now titled, Trusts and Equitable Obligations. I'm currently involved in writing what's my involvement in a third edition of that book, and there are two broad chapters on charities in there, so that's one of the areas, one of the reasons I took on that publication was to talk about charities to a very, very wide audience. I've also been involved in a number of funded projects over the years, including as principal investigator on an ESRC funded project on housing the mentally vulnerable, which was a good number of years ago, but looked at how charities were involved with housing and managing the needs of people with particular concerns or mental health needs who fell outside, if you like, general housing provision, because there's been a move across a number of years since the Thatcher government onwards, in fact, that the social housing sector has been shrinking and also becoming homogenised in the sense that it likes to deal with, if you like, classic families or classic individuals, not people with particular needs. So it was trying to map out and see how charities were involved in that process, and it found, as you'll see if you read it, a considerable variety of roles that charities played, and that got me extremely interested in the interface between housing, charities, social housing and their involvement, and it's something that I've written about a lot over the years. I've also been interested in, as I said, occasionally I sneak out a publication about property law more generally, usually in the field of leases, but charity has been something that I've come back to a number of times, and actually over the years I suppose what I'm moving on to really is the need for effective governance in charities to try and deal with a lot of these issues, because actually a lot of my research and a lot of the research of the unit has uncovered that charities sometimes aren't as aware as you might think, or they might like, of the assets they have, how to use their assets, or in fact of the legal rules that sometimes, and the frameworks within which they operate. That's not because they're in any way negligent, it's simply because the frameworks can be extremely complicated, the policy area is fast changing, and the law itself can be not necessarily fit for purpose. And the law and how it relates to charities has informed the work of the Charity Law and Policy Unit throughout. So as I said, it's been an interesting journey so far for 20 years. It's a journey I look forward to continuing over the next 20 or so years. And as I said, you'll hear from me in later videos. Thank you.